Dear presidents of all countries, dear citizens of this planet Earth, good morning to all of you. It's a beautiful, fresh new day and a beautiful new week. My name is Goiana Ferreira. Today is January 24th, 2022, and we are here today to work. And even that's a little cold here in Florida. So, my dear presidents from United States, Joseph Biden, from Brazil, Bolsonaro, from India, Ram Nath Kovind, from Indonesia, Joko Widodo, from Algeria, Abdelmajid Tebboune, from Iran, Ibrahim Raisi. Welcome to our organization, Clean Water and Peace Organization. And for all other presidents and government leaders of all types, city mayors, county mayors, state governors, Prime Minister, royalty, to everyone. Please join our program because it's a real gift to be here with you, sharing the best I could gather to be positive and sustainable for our planet Earth, for ourselves and our families, for our communities, and for our countries. For a better humanity, for all of us to have hands united and be together, be really strong and firm, and practice great, awesome things for us to be better. So the idea and the practice that we need, it's start, somehow already start. Dear presidents, make this into law. Please give 48 hours for everyone to have their first meeting. For residential community, neighbors to get together. For educational sites, for principals, university deans to get together with their teachers and staff. For hotels, restaurants, and everyone else, businesses of all types, together and 48 hours from notice time to start and have their first meeting. And for you, dear presidents, dear governor leaders, I ask you also to have 48 hours for your first meeting together with your staff members and implement this law in 48 hours because we can do that. We have the gift in our hands to take decisions, everyone on their own place, right? And we really need a better planet. So right now we are about 8 billion people in our planet, and we cannot have fruits, vegetables, and everything else shipped all over the planet. We cannot have that. No more ships for those items and no more airplanes. We're going just to receive what already started and start our own gardens. And please add to the law that no local authorities can forbid and can go against it. So my dear presidents, please make into law and let's start, right? Because that's the only way we will have better families and no hunger in our planet. During the 28 volunteer weeks that we are going to start after the conference, the International University Teachers Conference, we are going to have 28 weeks for us to help all families in need of all types, including people from slums, refugees, nomads, indigenous people that suffer with cold and do not have proper food as well, and everyone else, homeless, everyone that need a better, that do not have a house. And for those that still paying rent, will be given houses for them to live, because we will touch hearts, my friends. We will touch hearts. There are many people that are very rich and can help us, and we can also build new houses on tropical and subtropical countries, real warm countries, to host those families that need, because there are billions out there, and we have to take decision and make a change. We can't have people suffering that do not eat properly or do not have food. Okay, so those things are very important. We need water, we need sun, we need soil, and we need community gardens. And people will own their own homes, with the exception of some elders that they can live in rentals, but only if they want. If they want right now, they can have their own homes, because that's real the best we need. Okay, so the specialists in each area by the 20th week gonna check the information we have posted at our website, the Clean Water and Peace Organization website, .org. And they're going to see if they have anything that's even better than what we have posted by the 20th week, then they can send us an email for evaluation. And our headquarters assistant teams will help us, gather those emails, if any come from different areas, and get added if they're approved. Okay, the other thing I want to say, it's for us to, we can have more people. Another big problem we have with food is we have a lot of wasted, and a lot is given to animals. So all this is going to stop. Farm animals gonna stop, gonna end, because that's the most sustainable, with the exception of chickens that we need in places they can survive, to eat little bugs and things, because we have way too many, also to avoid snakes and things like that. And we can have their egg, that's very nutritional. So in some more colder climates, we can have maybe ducks or things like that. But for warmer climates where the chickens can survive, even if they go out on winter less hours, but they have to be free, of course. They need to be in nature as well. And we are every community gonna plant grains and seeds for them, and work on this process of being independent. So we need to get that done. For the egg, because we are going to be almost vegan with this process. And we can host more people. Far as I think, we can be up to 14, easy. We can be up to 14 billion people. And I still think we can go more than that. 16 or 18, I'm still thinking, because I need more specialists to give their word on that. Because we're all going to plant our own food. We're all going to have clean water, because even in countries they have problem with water because of the farm animals that are close by, or no proper housing, no proper toilets and things like that. But if we all organize and everyone help each other, easily you can have even more than that. Okay, so the first thing, it's, as I said, for everyone to have 48 hours for their first meeting. And this meeting will last for 2 hours. So the person, the principal, the dean, university dean, the school principal, the residential community manager, or person leader or board member, whichever they have, or it can be just a resident, an interested resident. We'll call everyone and start talking, because we cannot be waiting for proper board members to agree or proper residential community managers to agree, because sometimes they don't want. So any resident can start. Teachers can start. They don't have, if the dean of the university is not interested, the teachers can meet. Yes, they can, because this is important for our own lives. Okay, so the 2 hours meeting, the leader of this meeting, the person that is checking all the information we have offered here, will make their agenda and will state the best they need. Okay, what's the best they need? According to the area they are, according to their climate, according to everything. And then start planning. Okay, what we need, what we already have, what we can have donations with, what we have to purchase to start. Okay, is that great? Awesome. The other thing is to take blacktops out from parking lots. Why? Because that's really not needed and not sustainable. Because family cars gonna end in all countries. Please, dear presidents, also already make arrangements. You're making to law for families to don't have cars anymore, and no dealers, no car dealers, because that's really not sustainable, my friends, for us to have junkyards in states, in deserts, all over for no reason. We have to be better. No family cars. No, people can walk and run, right? Can take urban buses to go close by. And when they really want, they travel with proper trains or proper airplanes on vacation days, on proper days. And sometimes the community the schools can even gather and get buses. But no family cars, because some families have 2, 3, even 4 cars and buy new ones and buy new ones. And it's not sustainable. Okay? All right. So, blacktops for parking lots will be taken out. And we are going to have large sidewalks for the families to walk. So some small streets from different places can stay and for people to walk. And some big streets can even be diminished. But that's another department. So as soon as we take the blacktop out, we start placing the community gardens on them and fruit trees. Okay? And everyone will have the fruit trees according to the month of the year they give fruits. So we need to study about that. For every month, we have fruits on every region. So we're going to get specialists right now. It's fine to get GMO, grafted plants. And afterwards, we will have only heirloom seeds, right? We will have our own natural seeds, because we cannot depend on others to have GMO forever. But now to start, it's a great thing, and fruit trees last for many years, and that's all a gift for us. So we need to do a study, a real careful study, for us to have fruit trees giving fruits all year round, and also for us to have salads, vegetables, roots, herbs all year round, because this is important for everyone. We need to eat, my friends, not 2, 3 things a day, like many people nowadays. We need to eat salads, like in the morning and evening when the family comes from work, from study, with many, many different colors, a little bit of each. That's how we can get our vitamins. So for now, it's fine. People that need will buy natural vitamins. That's important, because we don't have all those food planted yet. But soon as we can, we are going to get vitamins, minerals, and everything else from our own fruits and vegetables. So we need study on that. what each fruit and vegetable are the most nutritional, what it can be planted, what cold places, what type of cold places and where and how we will build masonry greenhouses. Because we are not going to have huge greenhouses made out of plastic, my friends. That's not sustainable, as everyone knows. So we need masonry greenhouses. That's very important. Okay? All right. So presidents or government leaders, whichever each country has, but when you're making the law, please make sure that no local authorities can go against or stop or forbid any meeting or any practice from this work we're doing, the Clean Water and Peace Organization. Why? Because if they don't want, that's their problem. But we have to be able to meet and gather and be together and make this thing happen everywhere. Okay, so we will have a study, as I said, also for the nutrition that each fruit, vegetable grows in each area, because we need that along the year. And we have to start. Okay, the implementation of the community gardens and also agroforestry, it's for everyone, all countries to have. In government lands, in areas that are not being used, in semi-deserts and desert areas. This is very important, my friend. We need agroforestry and not just woods or forest. Why? Because the fruits that will fall will form bacteria and will enrich the soil. So it's very important. We are going to plant proper agroforestry in all those areas. And we are going to start from lakes, from rivers, from streams, rivers, so everyone. And the ocean, if it's really needed, if there's really no other option, we have to filter the water and to water plants. Okay? So we are going to start from those water sources. Streams, rivers, lakes, oceans. We are going to start on their surrounding. Have proper pumps. For the ones that are too small, we have to be careful how much we can take from them. Because with the agroforestry all around them, we are going to have more water, and that is a gift of life. Okay, that's a real gift of life. So we are going to start from those margins and not straight lines. We are not going to make straight lines going from here to there, from nowhere, because that's not sustainable. We are also going to have irrigation, mandatory irrigation everywhere that's not raining. Because we can't just send seeds, even that they're packed in little clay, mud, right, for them to dissolve when the rains come. We're not doing that. If it's really raining on that region now, in February, March of this year, 2022, it's okay. But we're not going to wait for the rain season to come, or 6 or, months after. It makes no sense. We're going to plant now. So we are going to pump water and have proper irrigation from the pumps, and that can be removed, used over and over and over, all these pipes or however, hoses, however it's best for each area. And we are going to have water trucks. Water trucks will be really essential for this work, because they can manage large areas, a good volume of water that can go many meters away from the truck, and all of these things are gift. We can have proper, we can build proper, because I've seen some different ones, but each country we can build a little tower for the person, or just to be mechanic, that's fine, whichever each country can do, but also we can give labor to people, right? That's important, instead of just the drive anyways, because people are going to work in couples, the best as possible. They're already going to work as couples. So the person, the driver, and the other person can help with the hose, even that they have some manual help from to guide the hose. Okay, they can reach great amount of big areas, large areas, even that's just few meters, but some trucks, if we can do 5 or 10 meters from the truck, that will be amazing. And we are going to have roads. So along the rivers or along those lakes, on semi-desert and desert areas, we're going to have roads, dirt roads, that with time they're going to cover themselves afterwards. Because the importance, the important thing is for us to already have, one area real established. Then we have a road, and then another area really established, and then the road. And this way going from those water sources. So this is very important. The water trucks will also be better than irrigation from pipes or from hoses, because they are just themselves. In a few hours we can get a large amount of areas, and those trucks can run the whole day and have different volunteers, different paid staff working all day long from 7 o'clock in the morning to 6 p.m. and Saturdays as well. We volunteers, we pay, but we can fit a large area. So for me, the best are water trucks. The countries, the places that do not have water trucks yet, can start how they can until they get. If they have money, they will purchase, and if they don't have money, they will have donations from countries that can pay for them, for individuals. So, but the president needs to say, what you need money for? We need money for water trucks. We need seeds. Because we're going to stop this thing. Can't bring seeds to here. Can't bring seeds to there. Can't bring, we're going to check the seeds. And yes, we are going to send seeds to all countries. Imagine, some companies, like for GMOs, can sell their seeds everywhere, right? And then heirloom seeds from backyards, can't bring to this country, can't bring to that country. My friends, we need to get better. Let's check the seeds. No disease, no problems. All right, let's send them over. They're good seeds. We need to have the best variety and biodiversity we can in all those community gardens and all those fruit trees we need, and agroforestry to cover land. Okay. The other thing we are going to have, it's have a 2-year nature course for everyone 20 years and older. Everyone. Why is that? Everyone attend university. People that did not finish high school have to finish, and everyone will study till PhD, because we need to learn those things. What to plant? We need to be experts, my friend, about our planet, our state, and mostly our own county. So we can share this information, plant, use the soil we have in a very intelligent way, instead of wasting time, for example, planting aquaponic lettuce that has no nutrients. Imagine if they are GMO, even worse. And plant real food that will give us nutrition, will heal our humanity. turmeric, garlic, ginger, all these things, natural antibiotics, natural antioxidants, those things that we need. We need kale, spinach, broccoli, real food, real herbs, right? Because things that are grown in greenhouses without the sun, in aquaponics, right? They don't have nutritional value. Soils that they put synthetic herbicides, pesticides. People are eating something, but they're not eating real food. It's not real food, because real food have vitamins, minerals. We need, my friends, we need microbes in the soil for those food to be rich in vitamins and minerals, everything else. All right, so this class is for everyone. Training and cleanup of poisonous plants and venomous creatures. So everyone, before entering areas that people will be walking, not on areas that we are covering like deserts, semi-arid areas, but for places, for example, schools, communities that are entering a new area that people are not walking there, like forest or woods that they will be taken down, many of it. So we have to be really careful. We need a proper team, because everything we will do with safety. So search it up, see what type of poisonous plants there are in the area, or venomous creatures, what there is, there's not, if they need white boots, rubber boots, that's what we're using. Why white? Because it's the safest. If there are ants around, quickly we can see, or any other creature, crawling creature, so we can easily see everyone's foot. And it's easy to say, oh, look, be careful, some ants there. Because some ants can hurt for days. So we have to be careful, my friends. Do everything in a safe and conscious way. So we check the land. First go only this team. No children allowed, only older teens, okay? But only people that really prepare, did their training, know what can be on those areas, because some things are listed online and we can find like snakes or things in other places. So we need careful, smart people that will really study, learn to be prepared and do proper cleanup burrows and check, or dead wood, move them around, make sure there's nothing under. They have to be protected. They need proper catching things for different animals. Different animals, even some mammals can be bad. They cannot stay on those areas for us to start planting some community gardens. They're going to have children there. So those teams, the cleanup teams, the land cleanup teams, gonna go check. If needed, they do one more day and one more day and one more day until they make a report that the area was properly clean. Okay? All right. That's really great. The agroforestry, the international agroforestry planting, tree planting will be made with help of everyone. So we are going to have 8 billion trees planted, 8 billion trees planted by November 11th. It's a family day for us, a very special day. Okay? By November 11, 2022. So, for those trees to be counted, cannot be just seeds placed around and forget about them. We cannot do that. So we are going to plant, and for them to be counted, they need to be 1 meter tall by November 11th. We need 8 billions of them. So everyone will have seedlings at their homes. They will have trays with plastic containers all around their neighborhood in a proper designated area with sun, of course, or in cold areas they have to plant in greenhouses or by their windows or their porches, wherever they have warm places. And greenhouses with plastic can be used for now, but they have to be all cleaned up by the end of the 28 weeks and sent to be recycled as the same as like tents and things like that are not really masonry built. We have to start recycling all of them. Okay, so the community garden beds for each family will be like 8 by 2 meters. So that's the best I figured out for the moment. It's a good number. It's a good measurement. It's a positive number, So that will be really good. And that is about the same as yard, but we're not using the word yard. We are using one measure for all countries the same because that's the best, right, for everyone. So everything will be properly prepared before we put the seeds. So for tractors or trucks that are placing seeds straight into the soil where we will have or already have rain, that's okay. So they will aerate the soils, in large areas, the best we can, because now in the South Hemisphere, it's raining a lot in many countries. So we have to run and use this great opportunity and plant agroforestries on those bare lands and really hurry up. So we have to prepare the soil, see what it needs. Okay, shall we bring some hay or something else? What it needs. And fast-growing roots like potatoes or corn, or what we're going to need just to give a little shade, just to give a good environment for the strong trees to come soon after. So what do we need? So each area, each county going to study and make those plans. The university teachers are the ones that are going to be gathering for government lands, because as I said, they're the ones that are supposed to know the best, not staff members from the government, but the university teachers in masters, in PhD. They are the ones that are supposed to know the best. Okay, so, and we also we're gonna plant all over, and because we need something sustainable, not for 10 years, my friends, or 20 years. We need something sustainable for centuries and for millenniums, because the objective of this organization is for us to have a sustainable and positive humanity for millenniums. So those documents that we are creating now, they're going to last for millenniums. So we need everyone's help. Everyone, every specialist in every area to focus and be checking all those things. Okay? So we need also to plant trees on cities. Some cities are fine, doing great. They have some fruit trees, in some green areas, and parks. The parks, oh, that's a great big subject. The parks. In many countries, as far as I know, they cannot touch. They have to be as they are, and people go see, and some of them are full of rocks and no trees, or full of, grassy lands or savannas and things like that. But my friends, I'm telling you that I believe that the best and most sustainable, it's for us to be together for agroforestries. So we have to start, okay? So we have to start. And how we start? Making a good study, start planting and taking care of them in a proper way, and implement, make a new law, implement those things as being the best, because that's the most sustainable for all of us, okay? For each area. How are you going to implement the law? Just write it. So the presidents and country leaders, just write them down and make them pass. Or ever, because every country is a little different. Nowadays we have so many different things. We have the Senate, we have Parliament. We have many different ways of approving law. Just make it happen, my friends. Just make it happen, please, because that's what we need. We can't have bare parks, state national parks, because people are going to be visiting them more once that we're not going to have TVs and radios and all these things. We are going to focus on nature. We need to be more united with nature. We need those things. Those are very important for us. And God made me a call to share these things for you, because nature is calling us. Let's be better. Let's be better. Nature is calling all of us, and we have to be connected and hear Mother Nature calling us, and God asking us to be better, asking us to improve. Our humanity needs a lot of improvement. So let's start today, my friends. 48 hours for the first meeting with at least 2 hours. I can do 4 hours if needed. Okay. So we will have, soon after we get organized, every county will have, every zone, will have their handbook of things they can plant on that zone. With a few exceptions of climates, individual climates, as mountains and things like that. But for most of it, we will be having a basic handbook for each zone. Okay, and then we will have the name of the trees and the name of everything, properly written for us to get seeds, and all properly documented for what we're sending from one place to another, and that's very important. Okay, so, and we also have the details on how schools, restaurants, residential communities, and government preserves, government parks, guidelines for all of them. So we will have handbooks on that. Will be placed on our website, and that will be really good and important for all of us. So we have the handbooks. As I said, we have the annual tree planting. The annual tree planting, so the objectives for us this year to have 8 billion trees. Next year, 8 billion trees. So for 4 years, we are going to do that. 8 billion trees. And every family, as I said, will help to make this happen. Every school going to help even more. And we are going to have field trips with students of different age groups to be planting parks and places like that. And everyone will cooperate, help each other, and make this happen. After these 4 years, the idea is for us to have the volunteers helping us on what will be sustainable for each county. Because on that stage, countries will be already have different areas. So for each county, we'll have at their online profile what will be done for following years. But for now, it's 8 billion trees for these 4 years. Okay? So composting will be mandatory, also in 48 hours. Why is that? Even for people that live in skyscrapers. Because we cannot have composting going to landfills. It makes no sense. So we are going, the managers or the residents themselves go to a close by, a city park or something, and bring their compost, because we're going to stop trash pickup anyways. And the first thing is the composting. If it doesn't fit on a property, only for skyscraper facilities and some apartment buildings that really do not have a place for composting, they can look around or talk to someone that has a land close by that really, make an agreement, everything properly written, signed, by both parties with testimony. Okay, because that's really important. You're going to stop trash pickup very quick. So we have to prepare the land with the best each area has, with mulch, trim the trees that are too old or sick, that we don't need them or do not give fruits. We have to trim them all, put them down and use the mulch. Get machines that turn those logs into mulch and use them. If it's hard wood, we are going to use more in playgrounds and places like that, or to avoid on the pathways, to avoid the weeds to grow. If they're softwood, they're going to be placed on the garden beds itself because they will help us with bacteria growth that we need. All right, so also some areas, rural areas, going to need some fencing because they're going to have some wild animals, so we cannot have that, or proper walls, cement built walls around the whole property. And everyone that needs going to apply to have financial help because that's the most sustainable. We need to build things for them to last forever, and we're avoiding chain link and chicken wires the best we can. We need proper walls, masonry walls around the whole property the best we can, 2 meters high. And maybe some places can have smaller, but what we are having right now, it's 2 meters high. Then we need chickens. For everywhere the chickens can survive, we will have them because their eggs very important and is very rich because they're going to be free range and is very important. And also because they will gather bugs and little creatures, crawling creatures that are not positive for us, and even baby snakes, So all these chickens are the perfect animal for what we need. They are easy to follow instructions, to get inside, before they close the building, or end of the school day, or before it gets dark. And so they're easily, you can take care of them really easily. All right, so for places, for cold regions, we're trying to see what's the most sustainable. If we can have ducks, what we're going to have that are stronger than regular chickens, or some types of chickens that can go. So all this, everyone gonna have their studies and bring from farms. And we're also gonna release chickens in parks, not the city, but county, state parks, national parks, because even that many gonna die, but they're gonna help. Even for Lyme disease and things like that, they can eat a lot before they die. So we are going to have also all the botanical gardens. The idea is to renew and end them because we don't really need them. We have to focus on plants that we can really grow without, as I said, synthetic pesticides, synthetic herbicides, for them to survive and bring sand or bring or do all this work to have a soil like to replace rainforest, because some are from desert, some are from rainforest, so they're not sustainable. That's the best we can find. Botanical gardens are not sustainable. We will have a lot of some flowers, ornamental flowers, we can have it. They're high pollinators, that's okay. But we will count on having flowers from our own fruits and vegetables, because they also flower. Just let them be, wait, and they will flower. Vegetables, roots, they will flower. List of forbidden plants we will have, and start with cactuses. We are not planting cactus anywhere that's not needed. Or plants with thorns, with exception of aloe vera, that is good for different reasons, and for burns, and also for making some type of grafting and things like that. Ornamentals for residential areas, we're going to have the least as possible, and only the ones that do not grow more than 40 or 50 centimeters. Why is that? Because they're not needed, not sustainable. We are not going to have landscape companies trimming them and spraying them with Roundup or things like that, or separating them. So the families, the students from each place, and the staff for restaurants and hotels going to be taking care of themselves. And while they take out the plants, that's already they're taking the plants that, making room for other plants to come. So it will be a beautiful movement. And each county will have proper handbooks with all details for each thing. So, the supermarkets now. Let's talk about supermarkets. The main thing is that they have to close down. In 4 weeks, we have the 4 family cleanup weeks, so they can sell their items. In 4 weeks, they have to close down for food. Why is that? Because that's the only way that people will be really aware that they have to plant. And the new orders, has to be online. So the residential community, all the residents will make their orders, and once a week they will be dropped out by the company. Instead of having all these delivering trucks every day on everybody's door. That's not sustainable. It's too many vehicles all over the planet. That's not needed. So once a week. For perishable items, it's once a week. And for clothes, shoes, or furniture, for now can be also once a week, because some houses are going to need, sustainable things. We're all going to adopt, we're going to need mattresses, beds, and things like that. But on a future, will be only once a month. So we're still going to see when will be the due week during the 28 volunteer weeks, that we're going to have once a month drop off for non-perishable items. And for perishable items can be once a month. So most of the places will be up to 2 months, because by that time, all of us can already grow the basics. 8 weeks for all salads and many vegetables, and longer for fruits and for other things as grain people can still buy, and so on. But the supermarkets will close, so it needs to be into a law, and to touch their hearts that this is really important, is needed. Instead of being open all day and even night, that's not sustainable. Department stores can be open, but not with the food anymore, because people can go and look, and during those weeks, of course, because afterwards will be everything dropped off at the same day, the same time for everyone at that community. But now during the 28 weeks, that's okay. But not in the future, because people are not going to have their cars. Oh, bring a new furniture here, bring a new furniture there, because furniture, it's to last forever. Proper taken care, really well made, very strong, very durable, okay? All right, so for the food items, we are good. We're going to do the law, please make the law, and Food will be delivered straight to schools, to businesses that offer food for their staff, for their guests, for residential communities, and so on. Okay, so all these things are very important. So it's forbidden to sell, to add styrofoam to soil. Perlite, it's okay. It's fine and needed for many plants. But not styrofoam, just to add volume to the soil, that makes no sense. And how authorities make that legal? It's illegal. No styrofoam in any soil. If nurseries have them, have to take them out. Find a way. Using the plant in good soil or not, that's their option, why they can still open, because afterwards you're not going to have nursery, my friends. It's not sustainable. Families are not going to have cars, so we cannot have go pick up this, go pick up that. No, it's okay for business, because we're going to have 8 weeks of park events to sell food, sell or donate, share, exchange, to sell seeds, grafted trees, even GMO fruit trees is okay, all right? But afterwards, we're not going to have nurseries or anyone else go into those parks for events to sell things. Just for now, during this, as soon as the 28 weeks start, for 8 total weeks. I think that's fine. Okay, so I talk about this and that. All right. Yeah, we still have to retype quite a few things, my friends. So we need volunteers, many volunteers. Awesome volunteers. Okay, so we will also have the minimum time for harvesting, because some people get too green, so they can be shipped far away, and then they don't have the proper nutrients that they can have. So we will have all written down for different species, how soon they can be ripe, so people will have an idea. As I said, we are all going to be experts on our area, our counties. And we will also learn about things that we can use. Again, simple things that we might encounter for some while, such as fire ants. You can use baking soda. For mosquito, you can use camphor, Vicks, that we can plant in our own gardens. And while we don't have them yet, we can purchase. Take the itch really quick for most types of mosquitoes. So things like that we will be learning. And we need lots of herbs. Why is that? Against mosquitoes. Because that's very important. My friends, we're going to have agroforestry in many places close to our homes. So we need a lot of herbs. Lots of them. You have a list of the right ones. And against mosquitoes, to scare them away and for us to be safe, because we cannot have nets for millenniums in our apartments, our homes, windows, doors. That's not sustainable either. So for now, everyone that needs will have them. Like in Brazil and many other countries, tropical, subtropical countries, we need them to be safe, right? And we need fans inside the bedroom so people will sleep in a safe environment. That's very important, because some countries are bad there with mosquito bites transmitting viruses and things that can hurt people. So we cannot be in a situation like that. We have to be safe. So we are planting herbs. We are having everyone on states, counties that need will have proper nets on their windows and doors. And doors not so much, because doors easy to close, but on windows, and that's very important. Okay? So the other thing is for plants that we cannot have. The plants that we cannot have start with marijuana. No cannabis, no, forbidden, my friends, forbidden. Why is that? Because not positive, not sustainable, not needed, right? We cannot have that. So it's very important for the president, my dear presidents, please already make into law. Today or tomorrow, already make into law. That's the only way. No peyote, no ayahuasca, no marijuana, cannabis, nothing of that. And anything else that make people see things, they're not needed. We're going to have all these handbooks to guide people to evolve spiritually, to have great, awesome practices, and it's not by drinking, something or acid of any type that we will evolve. So those things, my friends, are not needed. Not needed. Many other plants that today are used for allopathic medicine, we won't have them as well. We're going to plant natural things in our own gardens. As I said, start with garlic and turmeric. Simple as it is. It's eating a lot of vegetables, variety of vegetables. That will be our focus. So no seeds. Many places even have poppy seeds in bread. We don't need that, my friends. No poppies of any type. No, we're going to stop all that. Not needed, not sustainable. Okay? And then the other thing is for layers of cardboard under the garden beds to avoid the grass, because some areas they have really strong, powerful grass. So they will need 4 layers. Depends on the area you are. Oh, some grass are really strong, and we have to be stronger than they are. On sidewalks, between the beds, you have to put those cardboard as well. And on the top of it, you can put some stepping stones. You can, because stepping stones are even better than have the area cemented, because we're avoiding cement in general. So stepping stones are good. We can also have hardwood mulch on the top of those, because then if you have 4 layers of cardboard boxes, we'll have plenty of time for those grass roots, hopefully, to really die on those areas we're planting food. Okay, so that's very important. Now, we need no bird bath. That's things that we cannot have. It's forbidden. Dear President, please make this law today. No bird bath. No liquid with sugar for hummingbirds. No liquid for bees, because many people do those things, and by law it's authorized. My friends, we have to wake up and be better. How birds can have, if they have bird bath, right, to drink the water, but we're going to plant food, and then people put scarecrows to scare them away. So it's not sustainable. In one way, people are calling them, in the other way, right close by, avoiding them. So we need to work with nature. We can even share some seeds with the birds. But let them be on their own place. Okay? Liquid with sugar for hummingbirds? Who said and who let those people have those things? Because they're really not positive. We're hurting hummingbirds. Let them be in nature. We can even have plants that attract hummingbirds because they're beautiful, or other birds, but not with water and sugar, in plastic containers that are placed at the sun and have plastic microfibers, or however we call it, released into the water. They're all not good. Liquid with sugar for bees. This another thing needs to be forbidden. Many people in winter, or when needed, put liquid for bees to produce more honey. That make no sense as well. So this is forbidden items. And every community we have hydrants. In case they need, we have to be safe, yes. But we are not going to have fire trucks. They're not needed. People are not going to have ovens at homes or schools because they're not needed, not sustainable. Many people, don't think well, and then we can't, have fire trucks going all over. No need, not needed. Okay, so fire trucks, fire water trucks can even be used for tree planting, but not for this reason. So we will have, of course, proper hydrants, water hydrants in all places. In a sustainable, distance from each place, because the trucks come, they already, for now, they already have water and will be used for the plantations. But if needed, one day we can have them. All right, so it's part of also this department that we are going to have International Family Nature Games at the end of the 28 weeks for us to enjoy and have fun. And those games will only be placed for 10 years. That's our thought, to be sustainable, have some fun, and the best families from each country will come. So we're still checking some details. If we're going to do it for 4 years or 10 years, we're checking some details because we can also have some fun for this start, because this is a historical moment. So let's see, 4 weeks or 10, 4 years or 4 or 10 years, we will have those family nature games. Water fountains in properties, and they are great for parks, for communities, and they're very positive also for humidity, for irrigation, as irrigation ponds from the laundry rooms we will have. And they're also beautiful for parks, right? City and county parks. We can build them as well, but we have to be really careful how we're going to take care of them, because we cannot have mosquito breeding there. So we have to be have real attention on the pumps we will have and things like that. So the idea is we will have on those handbooks, depending on the zone there, because we don't want plastic ponds, to have plastic at the bottom of the ponds, but some places won't survive if they don't have cement or something else. So we will have the most sustainable for each area, and some places will have cement because that's the only way, and then some soil on the top for plants to grow. Some plants. Everyone needs very strong pumps for us to avoid any type of mosquito breeding. That's very, very important. And also we can use the laundry rooms, that every community will have a laundry room. Instead of every house have their own washer and own dryer, we will have laundry room for every one of that community, depending, how big they are, 1 or 2, because some communities are really big. Or if depending, some very big community will be divided by proper walls, because it's not sustainable to have huge communities as well as some we have here. Even in the United States, we have some huge ones. Okay. So the water fountains, water ponds, and we can create. And also for natural ones, we need proper pump, strong pumps with solar panel and not electricity, because we're not going to have electric wires going to these ponds once they're not sustainable. We need proper solar panels and proper plants for each area that can grow, to give a nice environment. We just can't have squares or circles made out of cement without any plant in it. We need some plants. Okay? we also need some filtration, and some can be made for fish. So if that community do not have easy access to fishes, rivers, oceans, it's not close to them, they can have big ponds for their fish that they will grow there to eat. And how that's going to work? Because the water that will be coming from laundry rooms will have only a little bit of biodegradable detergents. So people can use the detergents there for sale now because we're not going to throw them right away. We can use them. But the ponds from the laundry rooms will only have the water from them when every resident will be already having the biodegradable detergents. And then the proper fish that is the best for that area, that's good in meat and also on nutrition value, can be placed there. Okay, we can start with minnows from guppies and things like that, and then start the bacteria process, and as soon as we can, we bring the water from the laundry. And the water has to circulate because we need like a proper way of doing that. So the water keeps coming from the laundry rooms, be filtered, of course, with different layers of things, sustainable things. And then the excess water, because the fish are there and probably a lot, will be going for irrigation. Okay, so we need specialists to make the best for each zone, because that's another thing of concern to have that. Okay, and we also need to check, because some places cannot have too many plants outside, so we won't have frogs, and if we won't have frogs, so we won't have snakes looking for frogs. So all this we need very special specialists helping us out for each zone. Okay, bromeliads are forbidden and only allowed in faraway government land, like woods, forests that nobody goes, but not everywhere. Nowadays we see bromelias in so many places, even here in Florida. Bromelias are allowed, people have in their gardens. It's a breed for mosquitoes, and then people complain, too many mosquitoes. And then in the same city, we have trucks spraying chemicals for mosquitoes that are too many on summertime. So make no sense. No bromelias, forbidden. Please, dear President, just add that. No, bromelias forbidden. Take them out, throw them away. Oh, it costs thousands. Fine, thousands. But the most important, my friends, for us to have health, mosquitoes are not needed. We are going to have bees and other insects for proper pollination. We are not going to have mosquitoes. Let's scare them away. So, and trucks for mosquitoes will be forbidden after the 28 weeks, because in 28 weeks, everyone on the whole planet should have plenty of time to plant proper herbs, to have proper repellents, learn how to make them, and purchase the ones that are natural and available now, but no chemicals. No, we are not using chemicals in our skin, like very bad sprays that they're allowed to have here in Florida. We're not going to have. Forbidden. So people can have bromelias, can have ponds without pumps, and sell these very bad, harmful mosquito sprays in pharmacies all over. So we have to make sense with things we do. After 28 weeks, no spray trucks for mosquito chemicals to be spraying in roads and everywhere. Okay? All right. So now hemp. No hemp. Forbidden hemp. People say, allowing hemp all over so many countries for cosmetics, for everything you can imagine. Oh, they're great for this, they're great for that. Why? There are companies behind all this information, but they are all not true, not positive, not sustainable for anyone. People use weed, like they say, right? Marijuana. They get their brain is slowed down, because I have proof of people that I know their brain is slowed down, and they can say thousands of good things about marijuana. That's all fake. We have, my friends, even doctors that can prescribe marijuana, cannabis, for people that have pain. That's all not needed, all not sustained, because people that have pain, they're not taking care of themselves. They don't run, they don't work out, they eat bad, they don't go outside to breathe fresh air, they don't take sun, they have low vitamins on their body, their liver intoxicated with Roundup and synthetic pesticides and herbicides from food they purchase. They microwave food instead of cooking. They don't purchase organic. That's why they have pain. And they use a lot of allopathic medicine for diabetes, cholesterol, headaches. They don't drink water, So it's forbidden. We cannot have hemp of any type. As I said, poppy, marijuana, because they use different types of parts of those plants. Not needed, not sustainable. Please make into law, make it happen. Okay, then we have here sprouts. It's fine. Microgreens, it's fine. We need them in many different places while they are available. Sprouts, what I mean. So people can purchase grains now that they're available, but they're not sustainable. How are we going to have these huge trucks? Huge trucks. And sometimes, companies and lands are so large and owners are so rich, they buy quite many different trucks to plant, to harvest at the same time, or they rent them out. And what all these trucks gonna go? They get old. They're machines, they get old. They don't decompose. What? How many thousands years for those machines to decompose completely? And still, maybe not successful completely. So we're gonna end, after 28 weeks, forbidden to have tractors of all types. What we can have are those little things, I don't even know their names, that different countries build to aerate the soil. That's okay. People can do manually, and guide the little thing. And that's okay to aerate the soil and plant some ground covers. So this is very important. Microgreens, yes, we can use microgreens, but not like many people are planting today, full of chemicals, things from, trays that they can buy from other countries. No more. We can have our own microgreens, that's fine. Planted in the climates that are needed, cold climates. Sprouts everyone can plant right now while we have them. But we're not going to send beans, lentils, brown rice across the planet as before. People can plant their own if they can bring to their own county meal. That's fine. To process them up. That's okay, but not from other states, other countries. Okay, so all residential communities will have 2 meters tall. That will help against the wild animals. I said some words about that. And also fencing only where is needed. Or small walls. The idea is like small walls, 1 meter or so for the chickens, or if they're in a city itself without wild animals. But if they have wild animals really close to them, they're going to need the better fencing to protect them. And always have the chickens come in, before it gets dark or before they leave the property, such as business owners or schools. Okay, the kitchens. We will have some outside kitchens. Outside kitchens are very important because right there we harvest, right there we use them, and this is very important to be easy instead of bringing everything inside, eating inside, all these things not needed. So we will have them with 4 sinks because the plates and silverware are washed right there. So we need one to wash the fruits and veggies, one for the plates, and one for disinfecting them at the end, the silverware and the bowls, right? We're not going to have large plates because no one can eat too much. It's not healthy to have, some people eat too much, have large stomachs. We don't need that. So what we need, some picnic tables outside, for all this. Every restaurant will have open windows. You're going to have all the details afterwards, but you can approve the law. You can, what's possible right now with the information I'm already giving you right now, please. And then soon you're going to have all details at the website. Okay, so we will have some picnic tables where people to eat outside, take sun, and improve serotonin on their bodies. That's really awesome. And for residential communities, educational sites, all these places, businesses, hotels, restaurants will have some picnic tables and also outside kitchens. The agroforestry handbook, we're also working on it for each zone to have their own, prepare the soil and send the trucks with the seeds to spread the seeds around and irrigate, as I said. And count them as an estimate, whichever way is possible, by November 11th. Okay, so we need to really do a very good study on the fruit trees we are planting and gather the most information you can from those grafted fruit trees, because some are huge, my friends, huge, even that they give a huge amount of fruits, but we need proper area. That's the concern. And they also have a lot of shade. So we will plant close to our homes the smaller ones that can give lots of fruits in the small area, because we cannot have too much shade, right? We cannot have too much shade. How are we going to plant our vegetables? And each community can have other land close by or a little more far away that will have those large, very large trees that, if they don't have enough space, of course, close by, to plant them, because they can feed many people, that's for sure. But as I said, they also have they promote a lot of shade. All right, so prior to digging, this is a very important and safety practice. We have to check. So some government don't have anything organized on that area, and some are very organized on that area and have all the details you need. So whichever country you're at, we need to check before digging for electric cords, for pipes, that we don't want to damage anything and we don't want to hurt ourselves as well. So it's very important. Check your country, try to get the most information as possible before you dig to plant any trees. Okay, that's very important. The other thing is for trees that we need and trees that we don't need. Some varieties are way too tall and we are not going to have machines, to climb those things. So, for example, coconut. They can grow really tall, but they also have the coconut, the nut itself, that has good nutrition value, has calories that we need as well, right? We need seeds, we need nuts, we need those things. So for each area, we are going to see what is really needed. Because if we have a variety of others, we don't need those huge tall trees. We need easy way to pick them up, and the best as possible with just little bamboos in our hands, to cut the fruit and bring them down. Instead of having people climbing, that's not so safe, instead of having ladders or trucks that have the climbing little tower for them. So the other thing is that the fruit trees that are mandatory to have. Lemon is one of them. They're very, very rich if they're planted in a good soil, of course. It's amazing how many different things we can have from a lemon tree. So it's mandatory to have. And it's good for bacteria. It's good. It's also an anti-inflammatory. Lemon is amazing, but needs to have a good soil, needs to have a good area. Even some small ones, you can have plenty of them to share easily with all the families from communities and educational sites and things like that. So they're very important. I'm going to scrape really well, even the pulp, with spoons, really, really well, because every tiny little gum, the pulp, it's important for us because it counts, right? So we can have for everyone. We are learning how to don't waste food and start eating fruits properly. The best you can. If you have to peel one or another, like kiwi, for example, watermelon, peel the least, not the most. Okay? Because that's important. It's part of our program to save and use wisely everything that we have. Because we're grateful to Mother Nature to have all this opportunity. We're grateful to God. And we have to do our part. That means to save and use properly. Okay, so every land that private owners have, that's our forest lands, will be sold to the government or given to the government, because we are not going to have private owners in the middle of the woods. It makes no sense. They cannot go there to check them out. If it's in a rural area, then it's okay. They can be sold to nearby schools or residential communities. They can be used. But if they're in the middle of nowhere, we're not going there. They're going to be forced, stay forest, and people are not going to do field trips and camps, because we're not having camps. Remember, we're not having camps in the middle of the woods. We need to be safe and sustainable, because then we're not going to have cars going in the middle of the woods, and then people are going to start taking wood. And so we have to be safe for millennials, So everyone, all these owners, will sell or give back to the government, because those large forests will belong to the government and nothing else. The other thing is with the natives. I'm going to say a few words because I already said that on the other handbook, the handbook department number 4. But I'm going to say a few words in case anyone didn't check for the other video yet. Native lands that were given to indigenous people in all countries will be returned to the government. Why is that? Because just two very simple, easy examples that everybody knows about. One is here in the United States. Indigenous people use their land for gambling. They create casinos on those lands. They harm their culture and they harm others. Because people play games, they gamble, and they lose homes, they lose their families, they lose business, they lose, things that were important for them. If they lose just money for money, that doesn't matter. But if they lose their own homes, their own business for money, they get addictive. They're really negative. We cannot have those things for our new humanity that we want, a better humanity with higher standards. Another example is in Brazil. People have the land and then they start giving wood, or they cannot, sometimes they don't sell wood to others, but they cannot manage the land they have for many reasons. Can be indigenous people or other private owners. They don't manage well, and then many mistakes happen because people go there, get wood, send down the river, and sell for nothing. Important wood that we need. So we're going to stop all that. Not positive. And indigenous people, will come to live with us because they also suffer. They also suffer. As I said, they suffer with lack of proper nutrition because they have the hunt, right? Most of them, they have some food they plant, but not enough. We need more colors. We need also to have better practices. So for us to evolve spiritually, learn more about our humanity, not only about their own tribes. They also, they are cold quite often in many different countries, even in tropical countries, get really cold for some time of the year. So for all these reasons, they're going to live with us as well. So all the land will be given back to the government. So please make the law and already have approved for us to start new positive things for all of us in all countries. The other thing is fish from ponds from the community will also be used for the plants. Instead of purchasing them, we're going to learn how to make them ourselves and use them properly. Instead of, as I said, instead of purchasing them, that will be a good thing. And for all places that have like a big agroforestry beside or, right there, their community, you're going to have a proper gate to avoid children and teens to go there in moments without their parents. So they need proper gate and open on specific times of the day with their family. Every Saturday morning, families will work together. Even the teens and young adults that leave, on Fridays, they can go out at night to have special time with their their boyfriends or girlfriends, but they have to return on time. So every Saturday morning, families will work together. So we need a gate at the agroforestry for us to make sure no one will be entered that area during the week, during the time it's not being used. Also, if you bring chickens there, they can stay during the day to eat, the little bugs and animals, not the animals, the little crawling creatures, but then they have to return back to the chicken's hen for sleep at night. So we need a proper gate to close that. All right. The other thing is that we will have monthly meetings for all departments with proper topics that they have to do for their reports. So every department director will present what happened that month, in this case, the activities, what was the special things they did, what was the regular things they did, and they will send present the report to the residents, and if the residents approve, do you approve? Yes. Okay, and then it's sent to the Peace app. Okay? All right. So, ground covers are very important. So instead of having grass that we have to trim on summer every week and on winter every 2 weeks, we're going to have ground covers for the needed areas. And they cannot be ground covers that are too tall. So we won't have any crawling creatures in there. We have to be safe, so they will be shorter ones. And what happened? They are amazing source of food as well. They have very important nutrients. So each county we will have a study about and have it listed at the county online profile. Let's say profile, it's a website, but let's say profile, because as I said, we're all going to be together. What type of ground covers we will have? The best ones in nutritional value, the best ones that are not so high, and things like that. The very short ones that children can play, in communities, in schools, residential communities and schools. So this is very important. And not, even grass itself. We can have some areas, because in tropical and subtropical countries, there's this, at least I know one that's very, very strong and does not need much watering, that they do not grow more than about 5 or 7 centimeters. They're very strong and they stay green, with little water. So we'll have a study on all those things. And on Saturdays, we will have this meeting. And the idea is to have from 8 to 12, if it's cold area, and earlier for countries that are too hot, because 8 o'clock is already almost burning, right? Some countries. So, and 7 to 11 for warmer countries or summer months. We can divide them, in these 2 categories and be very organized. Like already know ahead what we'll be doing. So the department director that watching this video right now and will be checking details at our website, we already know and already tell everyone. So we need 2 or 5 families to do this, 2 or 5 families to do this or that. The department director couple, we already say ahead. I still thinking 2 or 4 days. I think 4 is the best, so have time 4 days ahead to tell what will be done, from the communities. And of course, teachers from all educational sites will be doing the same thing ahead of time, already know where teams are needed for transplanting, for soil aeration, for preparing, organizing the compost, or, moving or changing, or using the compost for tea, to spray the plants, different things. So they are the ones with their assistants that can organize all these teams needed each Saturday, and for schools every day, right? That they have classes ahead of time. That's very important. Okay? So, and then they have before or after, depends, right? Before or after lunch, probably after lunch, we will have the spiritual meeting. The idea is to have for 2 hours, and then everybody's free. So from 2:15 or so, some families stay for cleanup, the ones that do not work in the city, and people that work can leave right on time and already go to their work. Restaurants, shops, gonna be open only from 2:15 to 6, or to even to 8 if it's summertime and daytime. Some restaurants can be open later, but not stores. but restaurants can be open a bit more if it's summer and daytime, right? Because we need business going as well for us to move, and have movement, and for people to have some salary. Nobody gonna need huge salaries anymore because the food and the house will already have. So the grasses, seed for grasses, those cover crops that are nutritional and edible can also be sent to other countries, of course, properly examined and sent to all countries that need them. It's important for us to share. Incinerators. Incinerators for animals, for farm animals. We are going to use them. I'll talk that in a minute. That incinerators for home items. So the incinerators, schools, residential communities, hotels, everyone won't keep toilet paper, regular toilet paper, but we will use for some special like feminine items, and for residential communities they have the Q-tips, ear tips. We have also hair from the floor and things like that. So those items will be burned at their own property in proper incinerators. That will burn just these very few items, but the regular toilet paper gonna go on proper, sustainable and strong and well-made septic tanks. Okay? All right. Now we have, we also will learn about leaves that we can rub in our skins as a repellent for many places, that they will be really positive to be used. And parents will be teaching, their children as well. So the children will have the same exact information from parents and teachers, because nowadays this is not regulated. Oh, my teacher said that, Mom. Oh, but my mom said that, teacher. So it gets to a situation that the children many times suffer. They don't know who they can trust, what the best information, or they have two informations and have different practices at home, at school. So this won't happen with the program. The home and the school will be giving the same exact information to everyone. So it will be easier for children to grow up this way. The other thing that is the liquid fertilizer, said a few words, the liquid for mosquitoes that some places really need, and things like that. We're not going to have signs or objects at the garden, like regular little gnomes, little fairies, things hung all over. Some people place a lot of things at the garden that they are not needed. Okay, hanging lights, forbidden, like this little tiny LED lights all over, or bigger lights hang on electric cords. None of this is allowed. No scarecrows needed, because we're going to work with prayers as well. Prayers, amazing what we can do with prayers. Every morning we're going to pray for our families and be even better for what is needed at that location. So no objects made out of plastic, or little flags, or as I said, or gnomes, or so many things made out of cement, or even other things, other materials. And they are not needed, not sustainable. A few ring chimes, yes, we can have, because they're really beautiful. Some of them are really, really beautiful. So ring chimes, it's okay. No statues of any type for any reason, no signs. At schools and at homes, at hotels and restaurants, everywhere, we're going to have the plan in a paper. We go there, we have kale here, radish there, we're going to look at the paper, what we plant. And very quickly people will learn and how they look and, already say what they are. But we need the proper written plan for millennials. We're going to write it down. Okay, that's what we're planting this year. Every year, get a new map and get organized. Get organized and, okay, taken out, as the weeks, the months pass, and then you make a new one. And everything will be properly reported. Everything with pictures and small videos. Very important. The written part goes, as soon as approved, goes to the PSAP, but also the records book. Everyone gonna have the records book for the activities they will be doing and fill them up on special meetings, on monthly meetings, and all things like that. Okay, so now there are many other things, but we're almost 2 hours talking about, but there are many other things. I'm just going to say a few more. That's how is important for us. So we can also, the counties that have too many ponds available, like in Florida, because of the water is very close to the surface, they can give ponds to residential communities to be in charge for food or for whatever need, because that would be a good thing. But we have to take heavy metals out first, because there are many different ways we can do that in canals, in ponds, planting, taking them out and things like that. But the government, I want to say government can give authorization, to give that, the pond, or, to the local residents. Okay? All right. Barns, we're not going to have barns anymore. We're not going to have farms anymore. And this is very important. So for the farm, animal, agriculture, there is quite a few different things I've already placed on the local WhatsApp list we have, but no animal farming anymore. And basically, these have quite many different steps. We will talk to the owners, we will pray for the animals, and we have to kill them. The best as possible, in gas, it's a large way of killing them and make sure they're really dead and not suffering. They suffer just for a very short time, but those are efficient. So we're going to use gas, and soon after they're going to be cremated, because we're not going to have all these animals inland leaking blood for so long, because we have very special aquifers we have to take care. So we're going to cremate them, and the government is going to purchase those machines and cremate them, because that's the only way. We cannot have those animals, not sustainable. Even that we imagine to have organic, free-range animals, it's not sustainable. Also, cow's milk is not good. Cow's cheese not good. They have casein, it's bad for the bone. All those animals are inside properties without sun. And we don't have enough land to have those animals grown with organic, sustainable, and free areas. So we have to, that's the only way, it's the most sustainable. That's not me, that's for us. We have to end all farm animals with exception of chickens. That's right what it is. So all of them will be cremated. Their powder will be used wherever is possible and needed, for soil. Once they have the bone, they can be used for soil. So we're not going to have barns of any type and anywhere. We are also not going to have people living in the middle of the woods or people living in far away, isolated rural areas, because they're also not sustainable. Everyone will have children, will have family, so they have to live close to the cities so they can go to the cities. So the government will exchange land with those people, or they can sell, to the government, whichever is the best deal, but we need to get it done. And no one will live isolated in any way, from natives, indigenous, to regular farmers. No one. Not needed, not sustainable. Okay. The other thing that we will check are roads. We have too many roads in some countries, like United States, we have too many. So we will diminish and take out some of them because we have very few government and business vehicles. And most of the things that we still need going to run on trains and not on trucks, because trains are safer for us, are safer for the government to be checking them up. So if we have lines, horizontal and vertical lines, according to the planet lines from the equator and on, we will have some trains, as a good and cheap way for people to travel during their vacation days, more sustainable than airplanes that are huge, right? We can still have airplanes, but not so many airports as we have today. They're not needed and not sustainable. So many will be taken down or remodeled and be used for housing. Okay, so the other thing is that we will have all this path on streets are mandatory, proper pedestrian sidewalks, because we're going to walk in families. So we have to remember that we're not going to walk, people are not going to be walking by themselves. So we need larger. I thought about 2 meters wide, I think is good for all the street pedestrian sidewalks. And we're not going to have fruit trees close to these walking sides in communities and streets as well, or trees that offer too many seeds. So they will be put down because we don't need to make the streets even dirtier, right, with debris they have, leaves or so this is very important. We're still gonna have the trucks with blowers that gonna run in solar panels to be cleaning the leaves from the trees that many counties have a lot during fall months. So we still have those trucks everywhere. We're still gonna have them because they are sustainable, easy to be used, with a very few staff members. They can clean the whole city in a proper organized schedule. Maybe twice a month, passing every road or something like that, because we're still gonna have wind, we're still gonna have rain that bring some small debris. And every city is mandatory to have proper drains for the rain from the street, but with small space for the water to pass. So no branches, large leaves, gonna be passing, or objects or things like that, because this way we will have cleaner canals and we're not going to have sand going to them, because everything will be more, this path, the sidewalks will be closer to the street and not sand. Every construction zone making those pedestrian sidewalks will start and complete on the same day. They get smaller areas, get the staff members they need, and get all done. So this is very important. Okay? And the tree planting for all shore areas We'll be also very carefully plan what we need and some supporting grass and or mulch, depends the area they are, what they have available to keep humidity, how much humidity they need for those plants to grow. All right, so and then we have we're gonna stop all green markets, farmer markets, that usually sell organic, and street markets in general. Why? Because they're not sustainable, not positive, not safe. Some people bring things at home, they don't wash their hands properly, they are kept in boxes, sometimes they're kept on sun for too many hours. They're not good. Which fruit trees can stay on the sun so long? GMOs, we don't want that. So people will work, and have, they can even sell some items for now. We're going to have a list of how long they can sell, work in proper locations, but not as a street markers. We're going to end them all. Please already make the laws. And I think it's sustainable the same as the supermarkets. They have up to 8 weeks to stop their sale, because that's the only way we can improve. And as I said, every week, residential communities, schools, and everyone that needs can still order online, but things will come to the whole community on that same day. If communities are big, they can have a bigger truck or 2 small trucks making the delivery. I think 1 big truck is better. But everyone will receive it the same day. And the trucks, so some communities will have their delivery on Monday, some on Tuesday, some on Wednesday, like that. Instead of having any day, any time for different residents, because that's not sustainable. We need less trucks, delivering trucks. Okay. So, in a few words that's a lot more that I can't say everything right now, but we are going to have everything properly written at our website, and we are working the best we can to have this organized and available to you, and have also afterwards we will have the handbooks for each county, for each zone, the planted zone. And details will be added to each one according to the landscape, because that counts, right? If valleys or mountains, even that's on that same zone, it's a difference. But just for you to have an idea, that's the basic of our program, and it's a gift to have you here, my friends. Let's hold hands. Let's be really united, really enthusiastic. I know some people are gonna miss their jobs, but we are going to get, much more than that. We are going to have families and people that are healthier, working together, so much fun. Instead of each person to work in different places, we're gonna work with our families. While the children running, playing around at our own communities, we're gonna be planting, watering our plants, and have games. Have fun Saturday mornings, because it's fun to be in contact with nature. It's a lot of fun. Instead of being consumerist and every Saturday go buy and buy and buy and throw away and fill up landfills, we're going to work the other way around. We're going to work for peace and love, but not only for ourselves, but for Mother Nature as well, because we need. And the other thing, for landfills, we're going to end landfills. All of them needs to be properly incinerated. What is possible, we can recycle, and we will stop the trash pickup. I'm going to tell you more details on the 4 weeks. We're going to stop trash, and we are also going to stop residential recycling, because it's not needed. the very few items we will have afterwards, families can put in a little reusable bag and bring themselves to the closest recycle center. They're going to walk or run and it's good. So we're not going to have all those trucks for trash or for recycling all over the city, all over the planet. They're not needed. Okay? So this is another thing that's very important. And there are many others, but just for you to have an idea. And, it's a lot, my friends, but I hope the basics you already have. And it's a pleasure to have you being a volunteer, part of this organization. So accept my invitation and feel yourself already as a volunteer. Feel yourself as already part of this organization, as a member. Talk to your children, talk to your teens, your elders. Let's live together and start. Let's have this real commitment for 48 hours. And let's start, my friends, because this is a gift for life. This is a gift we have in our hands to have a new and more positive and sustainable humanity for millions of years. Okay? All right, so we will have more information on our YouTube channel. Please keep listening and sharing the information to your neighbors, friends, co-workers, and families, and managers and bosses and everyone else. Share, just share with government leaders, county mayors, city mayors, governors and presidents, and even from other countries. If you visit other countries and you know their reality, send them an email. Okay? All right. Let's have a wonderful week, my friends, and I talk to you soon. Have a blessed, very special, productive, and happy week. Talk to you soon.